Post game with Jim Booz, UMD wins in a convincing sweep. What did you like about your team today, playing in a kind of in a new atmosphere at Amsoil?
Well, like I told them at the end of the match, anytime you can win a match 3-0 in the NSIC, you take it, you move forward. I thought initial service pressure we had was really good, kind of set the tone for what we wanted to try to accomplish tonight. I thought we played well in spurts. We kind of withheld them ever really getting too much momentum, but like many of the matches we played so far, we still have a lot of things to iron out, and we're making too many mistakes, and we've got some work to do still.
And defensively, Bemidji State hit 294 in that first set, and then it was nothing. What adjustments did you guys make, or was there just kind of a huddle, just saying, hey, we just need to refocus on?
Yeah, they focused on it a little bit more. We talked about some of the things that we had talked about in the pregame scout that we weren't doing particularly well early on. Like I told their coach afterwards, he's done a really good job with that program. They've got some really nice players. They were finding ways to score in situations that weren't ideal, and so they made it challenging for us from a defensive standpoint. I think some of it, our effort level increased. I'd highlight Kate Berg and the job she did in the backcourt there, especially in set 3, falling all over the place, diving for balls, and keeping us in system so we got swings and got transitional points.
How difficult is that for you? Bemidji State had an injured setter, kind of had to change things around, and you don't have game footage about that. How did you guys make that adjustment going into today's game?
Well, we just talked about, no different than if we had lost our 2 setters, that it would very much change what we'd be able to do. So we knew it was going to be a more outside and, back right side based offense. And therefore we had to have some discipline with timing our block and defending around it. We had moments where we were very good at that, a few moments where we weren't, but that's a challenge, and you give Bemidji a lot of credit. That's a tough spot to be in right now. I think the job Mary Campbell did tonight as a freshman right side hitter to come in and have to run the offense, you got to tip your hat to her and the job she did, and I thought we just defended well enough in those second and third sets to make it difficult for them to score.
It's not easy to do in this conference, and she had some overall success here and there. Last thing is you touched about getting Sarah Keller going. Was kind of struggling, especially last weekend. 12 for 20, 550 average, got her going. What worked today, or what adjustments did you guys make?
Well, I just think we got a little bit more of the rhythm back. Our ball control was better. Emily was setting her a little bit more in tempo of what she succeeds at. She likes that ball being there pretty quick. There's a couple of sets that were a little bad, a little off, but that's going to happen in the duration of a match. I just think we got a little bit more down to what Sarah Kelly likes, that quicker set where she can really power off that left foot and drive up and get it.
Standing here post-game with senior Makenzie Morgen, and Makenzie, kind of a cool experience here being at Amsoil Arena playing. Just give us your general thoughts on how the atmosphere and the experience was for you.
Yeah, I think it was really cool. We had a good turnout for the fan section, which was awesome. Our bench did a really good job being loud, because in this environment our fans are pretty far away from us, so doing everything we can to make it louder on the court was really helpful, so that was awesome.
And how was that kind of different from being at home in Amsoil? Is there a big difference or anything that changes up your kind of schedule?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a difference just because it's a different environment. Our fans, it just feels quieter in here, so we have to work harder to make our own energy and be loud and make up for that. But that was kind of the biggest thing. And the big thing for you in the game, you had 12 digs, but 10 of them came in the first set. What was about Bemidji's attack plan to think that they could get balls past you? They hit 294 in that set, but they really didn't do any sustainable damage. Yeah. What worked so well for you to make sure that you covered your part of the floor? I think we did a good job strategizing beforehand, knowing where the best place to be was on defense, and then our other defenders did a good job making the right shifts so that I could be comfortable in the place that I was in and then make those digs, so just worked out. And then kind of what I touched with Jim earlier, a whole new different setter. You guys haven't seen much, limited film. For you, what was your main focus on just watching that attack and making sure that you're in the right spot, digging balls, because obviously the balls are not going to be perfectly set in spots, so you really got to read and react. But for you, what was different about that, knowing that you had a completely new setter? Yeah, I think our biggest focus going into the game was just to play consistent on our side of the court. It didn't matter what they were doing. We didn't have a ton of film on them. We didn't know exactly what would be happening tonight on their side of the net, so our biggest focus was just making sure we were doing everything on our side of the net, doing our jobs and doing the little things.